We are back, and things are still taking place in the world of sports as people, leagues, fans are trying to find out how things are actually going to function and take place within this new norm. One of the leagues that would currently normally be underway right now is Major League Baseball, and the MLB has been trying to find ways to get their players back on the field safely. One, to make money, of course, to get that revenue flowing, and two, to give fans what they want to see. Things could get very, very fishy in the days to come because the owners and the players unions are looking for ways to possibly get these players on the field. Now, we'll talk about this later down the line in the show, but we do have two states, Arizona and Florida, who have said that professional sports can begin in those states pretty much immediately. Florida, as of now, and starting on Saturday, May 16th in Arizona. The places I mentioned, we'll talk about that briefly in a moment. But MLB players have begun to speak out, and one of the players that began to speak out is a pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays that goes by the name of Blake Snell. Now, Blake Snell said the other day on Twitch that it pretty much wouldn't be worth it. That right now, for fans who do not know, it's a lot of money that's being lost because TV deals, of course, aren't being met, regardless if sports are played, regardless if Major League Baseball does come back. It will most likely be in a confined area, and fans will not, I repeat, fans will not be allowed in, which means there will not be employees working in the stadiums as well. So jobs will not be brought back, and fans will still be subject to watch the games on TV. It'll be interesting how that may play out with local deals and different things as such. But Blake Snell was on Twitch, a popular internet video game type system the other day, playing video games, talking, and handling his business. And he just kind of mentioned that for the pay cut, he just recently got a big deal, and the owners right now will be looking to kind of split things up. It'll be like 50 split in revenue, whatever they would make right now. Players' contracts would be slashed, but they would only play 80 games versus 162 games. Um, so he's pretty much saying, hey, for the risk that we'll take with the corona being out there, with the people are saying these governors and owners and leagues are looking to find a way right now, but there still hasn't been, an established safe way to return to the field or to even get fans out there. We still don't know how those things will turn out. So Blake pretty much said, you can catch me out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not going out there and just playing the game just because, making other cats money. And there's a few other players out there that feel like that. So things can get very, very interesting in the days to come. Craig, of course, we know how much you love the game of baseball. I know deep down inside, I mean, we see what's posted behind you right now. I know deep down inside that it hurts you on a Saturday afternoon or a Friday night with, not knowing that the Braves aren't right up the road in Truett Park, no longer SunTrust, of course. We haven't even got a chance to see my Phillies and your Braves go at it in the new name, Truett Park. What are your thoughts, though? What are your thoughts on what Snell had to say about not getting out there on the field? Do you agree with him? Do you think other players would take that same notion, or do you feel like he's being selfish?
Um, I guess the easy answer is yes to everything. But I feel him. I feel him. I also feel the other side because Blake Snell. If I'm Blake Snell, I just signed a 5-year, $50 million contract. You know what I mean? And now you're trying to get me to play for revenue shares, basically 50-50. That's not really gonna work for me because of that I'm missing money. I'm already missing money, but now I'm missing more money. Like players like that who sign these big deals, that's not really beneficial for them. And then they're risking their lives as well. So it's like, ah. But if you're looking at it from an organizational standpoint, you see you got teams that they may not be able to survive if you do it in the current way. Like for the Rays to be, for example, both teams in Florida, the Rays and the Marlins, those are two of the teams that don't make a whole lot of revenue on a regular season. You know what I mean? Like Tampa Bay, they were flirting with the idea of going to Montreal this last year. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not a situation where a lot of the Royals, Tampa Bay, places like that, those kind of teams, they don't have just money to blow like that. So if they can't do like a revenue share or something like that, that's they may not be able to even fund the whole team for a year. I know so far, well, not so far. I know that the revenue that teams make inside the stadium, concessions, merchandise, ticket sales, all that stuff, parking, that makes up 60% of most teams' revenue. So you're talking about not 60%, 40%. I'm sorry. And so you're talking about running your team on 60% of the type of money that you would normally have. That's front office exec. That's your high dollar players, stuff like that. Like so, for Blake Snell, I get it. You gotta do what you gotta do for you. You have the right to be selfish in this time right now. It's about your health and your family. Organizations, I see what you're trying to do too, because you're trying to run a business and you're trying to make sure the game can be played for years to come for you guys. So I mean, it's you can see both sides of it. So I'm not mad at either side, but I do wish they would get it together. I know they were looking forward to trying to have a thing where they do an 82 game season starting in July 4th, which would be dope. You know what I mean? But if they don't get it together within the next 2 weeks, I don't see it happening.
Now, what I do think is very interesting and to kind of highlight what you spoke upon a moment ago before you bring Brandon and get his opinion on the situation. Um, when you started off, you said yes to everything, and that is interesting. I've been hearing a lot of opinions from other members of the media who were pretty much saying that these players would be selfish if they didn't take a stand to come back, and like forget the fact that they're risking their lives and getting out there.
I mean,
Go
you
play
earn the right to be selfish.
at home, and they don't have nothing else to do. So, let us watch you play baseball while we suffer at home, pretty much. I think that's interesting. Now, Craig spoke a moment ago about some teams not being able to possibly not being able to financially stand the season not happening. Not only the teams not being able to stand that, but the league in general and its popularity now. In my opinion, personally, I think in the next 10 years we can possibly see soccer eclipsing Major League Baseball and its
I say sooner than that.
popularity as far as rankings go. If baseball doesn't do something to step it up in the city to do something, find a way to kind of be reborn here in America. But one of
They
the
will they will let teams have a buy-in.
say that again.
They were talking about having two expansion teams, but you got to have a buy-in. I think it was like you got to have like a bill buy-in, $1 billion buy-in.
See,
So
that's outrageous. One of the
yeah,
teams who would be able to stand in the rain as far as from the financial aspect would be Brandon, your New York Yankees. What are your thoughts about what Snell had to say? A pitcher, of course, for the Tampa Bay Rays. Do you think other players will feel like that? If they're taking such a big loss financially, should they sit out? Is that a motive of greed? Uh, and if we don't get baseball this year, could the damages be more severe than the MLB strike in 1994?
I mean, I can see why some people might think it's selfish because they're already making more than the average person, so people already have that stigma that athletes are selfish and this, that, and the other. But like Craig was saying, like they're gonna be the ones going out there risking their lives for you. You already at home chilling at the crib, turn on ESPN on your local TV networks to watch them play. You ain't gotta face that. They do. They don't want to go through the testing and all this. And so I can see why Blake's like, hey man, look, run me my cash. If you want to go out there and pitch, like I need all my ends. I get it. But like Chris, I also see why the business side, like y'all gotta come some kind of mutual agreement. Something like, hey, we catch you on the back end or something like that. But I could see more or Blake like, hey, look, I'm risking my life. Okay. y'all in suits and sitting in the press box and stuff. Y'all ain't out here grinding. So I kind of see that. And also to your point, what you were saying with soccer, probably within the next 10 years, I say sooner than that, probably.
Okay.
Probably within the next 5 to 6, they probably overtake baseball. Because let's be honest, who really watches baseball May, June, July, August, besides Craig and Peter Vest, not Peter Vest, what's the old man be on ESPN? Uh, I know you know.
Buster Allen.
Buzz out, yeah.
Only
Yeah, Oli, yeah. Who really watches baseball like that? I'm not watching Yankees, but other than that,
you heard
who really? What do you say?
Marcus Sharon said they need to go play. And he said you might as well play for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, he sound like a cat out there like that's in the booth right now, not actually on the field.
Yeah, yeah, Mark, you done made
He
200 mil in the league, bro.
I'm
Like
about to say, look, you done made your cash. You made a bunch off the Yankees, all right, all right. So
he talking
you got
about
your ring.
he talking about
You good with me?
you could sit at home and make nothing and skip the season, or you can go out there and play and inspire people with hope for pennies on the dollar. I said, nigga, I'm gonna sit at the house. What you talking about?
That's because you might well just stay at home.
Fine,
Like,
nobody no damn
what
thing.
you if you mean to tell me, okay, if I'm Max Scherzer, you want me to go out here and play for like a meal this year? No, absolutely not.
It'll be very interesting, but we'll definitely keep you, ladies and gentlemen, abrupt and in tune with what's going on as things will pretty much break underway in the next few days. We'll keep you up to date and let you know what's the stand, if we'll be getting any Major League Baseball, where the games will take place, if we do get baseball, and if we do not, then we'll begin to talk and discuss what's the next steps, what'll be the next phases for the MLB and Major League Baseball fans. So we got a lot more to talk about, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.